Today I will be reviewing Growing Up Hip Hop Season 3, Episode 7. Oh my god, this show is getting so good. Now, we all know I review about 10 shows at one time, and this is by far one of my favorite, but not for the reasons you would think. I love the show because it's real. Out of all reality shows, reality shows can get really gimmicky and really, staged and, but this one doesn't do that. This deals with real life problems. So the episode opens up with Pepa from Salt and Pepa and her daughter Egypt, and Egypt is confronting her because she finally read the book and she found out that her father used to beat her mother. This is some serious stuff. I mean, and she was torn. She was torn because, like her cousin TT told her, her father is a father to her, but was an ex-husband to Pepa. So they're two different relationships. But at the end of the day, right is right and wrong is wrong. And she's torn because she's probably thinking to herself, is it possible for me to love somebody with such an ugly background? Not even that, an ugly background towards my mother, one of the people I love most in the world. This is a tough situation. Unfortunately, this is a real ass situation. Stuff like this happens in real life. I mean, there are woman beaters out there. I mean, it's just a part of reality. I mean, and it just doesn't affect the person you're hitting, it affects the entire family. And a lot of times, it could be generational. Some of these men don't know how to be men. Sometimes it's they repeating what they see their fathers do, or some of them just don't know how to be a man. I mean, it's different reasons why people fail themselves. And anything she did at this point was a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, because you could possibly say it was years ago, why bring it up now? But it can also be, I'm just finding out now and I have something to say about it. So she decided to confront Treach. Now I remember Treach back in the day during OPP, entertainers period, especially rappers and singers. They have a reputation for having a wild life. Does this excuse your behavior? No, absolutely not. This is just telling us why you were lost at the time. So that's what the excuse he went with. It was a different time, I was a different person, I was a lost soul. But then he starts defending himself. She's trying to demonize me. I'm no monster, I'm not a monster. No, she's not demonizing you. And he was talking about Pepa. Pepa's demonized. She's not demonizing you. She's telling her truth. And her truth it was, when you married her, you put your hands on her. So I understand how he feels. That's a shameful thing to do, but you did it, and you have to live with the consequences. But he started crying. Now, this was a good thing to me because it showed some kind of remorse, or at least shame for what he did. So, whether it's back then or now, the first start to healing is realizing that you were a complete jerk, and I feel bad, but Egypt felt bad for him too when he started crying and she hugged him, because to me and her it felt like that was his sincere emotions and he was ashamed of it, and he should be. Like, you shouldn't ever put your hands on a woman, and since you did, you have to live with the consequences. At this point, you should just be thankful that you didn't hurt her, and eventually you need to apologize, even if it's 20 years later. That's just what I'm thinking. Next we have Romeo. I really like Romeo. He's going through a phase right now. He's trying to find Mrs. Romeo. So he's dating around, he's enjoying life, but he's responsible with it. He's working, and he's still, Master P is launching a new mixtape. And this family, they work very hard. Okay, so next we have Boogie. Now, Boogie has some serious problems, but for some reason, there's a special place in my heart for Boogie. I just like him. He's just, I don't know, a sweet guy, and he doesn't really hurt anybody but himself. Now, Boogie, so he's talking to Brianna. She came by to see him. He's staying with Romeo. And I've always given Brianna a hard time because she's just like so out there to me. She's just brash and she's just out there for me. She's just out there. She's rude and selfish at times, but she's being a really good friend to Boogie. So she tells Boogie she agrees to go to a AA meeting with him. Yeah. Boogie doesn't show up. When he does show up, he's an hour late and he's high as hell. I said it from episode 1. I said, I know a lot of alcoholics, I know a lot of drug addicts, and I know the drugged out look when I see it. And so she said she knows the drug out look too, which shocked me about Brianna, because Brianna said she grew up panhandling and on drugs. This is a serious problem. This is why she acts this way. She could be in recovery from a awful childhood. I know she said she basically had to parent herself. She was home a lot. Remember, she said home by herself a lot, eating Velveeta cheese. These are real problems. I mean, this is why I love this show. It takes courage to admit your problems, but on national television, even more courage. So Boogie shows up to the AA meeting high. He was high as hell. High. And Brianna called him out. She said, are you high? She just straight out said, are you high? And he basically was like, hem-hawed around, and then he was like, well, you know, what am I supposed to do? You know, this is how I deal with problems. I'm hoping Boogie can get a handle on it, but it doesn't look that way. He has drugs and alcohol, and now he's admitting to doing lean. Lean is heroin, liquid heroin, it's heroin. So you could see that Brianna felt really, really bad about it. So she decided to go tell Dame Dash. Now, Dame Dash is already on 10 on a good day. Like, he just, every time he sees Boogie, he's constantly, I say browbeating him, but he thinks he's bringing out the best in him. You know, he's always just, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, live your dreams, do this. He's just over ambitious. To a fault. I mean, it's just so much. I probably couldn't handle it. You know, maybe he's the reason, you know, Boogie's having these problems. Brianna decides to go tell Boogie's dad what's going on. She goes to tell him that, no, it's not just alcohol. He's also on heroin. You can't knock her for doing it. For me, some people would knock it. They would say, mind your own business. It has nothing to do with you. I look at it different. I think it comes from a place of love. And what she's basically saying is, I'm not going to love you to death and watch you kill yourself without doing anything about it. Because at the end of the day, no one can do anything for an addict. But you don't have to be a participant. And so, while Brianna's not my favorite person in the world, I have a different outlook on her now, and a little bit more compassion and a little bit of respect, because what she did was hard. Now, next we have the Simmons sisters, Angela and Vanessa. Now, they don't have problems like drugs or, you know, beatings and stuff like that, but they're having family problems. Now, this is still just as stressful as the other people's problems, because families are a group of people that's supposed to be the only people you trust and you know, confide in the world, but they're also human with different personalities, and some people just don't jive. Like Vanessa and Angela, perfect match. Darian, not so much. It's unfair, it's just how it is. But what I like about Angela is, even though it took her a while, she talked to her mom about it and she decided to try. So she asked Darian to be the model of the show, but they had a really good conversation, and Darian said, I'm in a place now where I'm willing to try too. That's really, really good. It takes a meeting of the minds for a family to work out, and it also takes effort. So even though she's not like going through major problems, these can lead to major problems. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes if you don't fix family problems, sometimes they can be your worst enemy. Christinia goes to Uncle L to bring up this whole baby thing again. This rumor has been around for years. I mean, everybody's heard it for years. And they talked about it last season. They're talking about it this season. So she asked Uncle L, you know, if what her dad said is true. Does he have a baby by Janet Jackson? He told her no, but it wasn't a strong no, in my opinion. It was like, why are we talking about this? You know, now I love El DeBarge. El DeBarge is a huge talent, and you know, his family was also struck with the drug addiction. And so, but for the drug addiction, El DeBarge could have been, I don't know, he's very talented. So, but at least he doesn't seem to be under the influence anymore. And they know, Christina doesn't know where her dad is. You know, that bug might have struck him again. But as far as this child is concerned, at this point, I don't really care. This is an old rumor that's been around so long. It's not even juicy anymore. But Christina's grandmother's going around saying that she found Janet and James DeBarge's baby. I don't know. We have to wait till some test results come in. You know, just anybody can't go around claiming to be, you know, James and Janet's baby, you know. So that's pretty much what happened on this episode. What I like so much about this show is that when you see other people's problems, and how they handle it, it gives you ideas of how to handle things. And I just like it. I don't know. I just like reality TV that's reality. So I'll be back next week. Thanks for watching. Talk to you next time. Bye.